What fascinates me about the... let's talk as well about Albo and asylum seekers. Mixed messages here. The way that he's encouraging certain families to come in. He's also talking... So again, let's have a look. Peter Dutton has warned Anthony Albanese is sending evil people smugglers mixed messages and claims Labor is split on turning back the boats. What do you think, Rita?
Well, they are. And we know Albo himself is personally very conflicted on this issue. This is one of those issues where he was steadfast for most of his political career, and he's had a late change of heart. And now
so many other things.
Like so many other things. Yeah, it's incredible how a man, in that advanced years can just completely change his mind on so many issues. But this is an issue, and they're going to weaken those border protection policies. They've already said that they're not signing up to every facet of the coalitions. And that's the thing, you need to have every facet working in unison, otherwise the thing falls apart. We saw what happened in the name of, they were going to be kinder, they were going to be more tolerant. And yet, what did we see? We saw our detention centres filled with tens of thousands of people.
Dying at sea.
We had 1,200 plus people dying at sea.
And much of that, by the way, was under this Chris Bowen character. He was the immigration minister during much of the worst of the asylum seeker years. Now, there's two important things out of this asylum seeker thing, Jane. There's what's happening in the UK with Prince Charles. We'll talk about that in a second. But also Sri Lanka. So we're now hearing, so Richard Marles has warned of arms races in the Pacific and all these sort of things. And we're seeing a lot of refugees or asylum seekers that are threatening to come from Sri Lanka. And we're told, oh, this is all because of climate change. It's nothing to do with climate change. It's to do with the climate change policies that a hardcore left-wing government brought into Sri Lanka, such as forcing all their agricultural to go organic and no fertiliser used. People are now starving and desperate to get out of the country, James. So here we see another example. It's not climate change that causes the problems, folks. It's the climate change policies that the left bring in, James.
Well, that's absolutely right. And also, of course, the Chinese debt diplomacy, which has also beggared the Sri Lankan economy. So, all of these bad choices there have created this problem. But let's not pretend for a minute that the people smugglers are not watching what's happening here in Australia. And frankly, I just think that's this whole case that everybody feels so good about around this family and Billawila and all of this couple. They came in separately. 7 different courts and tribunals, guys, rejected their asylum seeker claims. They should have not been allowed to spend all of this time and taxpayer money appealing and becoming this political cause celeb. Now the Albanese government has said, oh, no, you guys can stay, we'll let you stay, and all that. Do not think that this is not being watched in Sri Lanka. Do not think that the people smugglers are not watching. We've already had 2 boats that have come, and there will be more. I hate to say it, but there will be tragedies that will come about as a result of this weakness on borders. We are just going to repeat the history of 10 years ago again in this new decade.
Well, I hope Ray Hadley has got that brrr horn ready, which he used to play every morning, because we're going to be needing it again.